Good morning, although it seems like afternoon to me. Um, when I first started venturing into YouTube, I told everybody I was not going to do any kind of politics on my channel. There's plenty of other channels out there that are doing politics and what have you. I wasn't going to have that on my channel. And when Joe entered the picture, he's more level headed about politics. Evidently, it doesn't seem like it plays on his mind as much as it does mine. And that brings me to the realization of it's really affected me mentally. For a while now, I've been saying, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I get anything done? Like, I'm tired all the time. And my body hurts. And I'm saying to myself, what is wrong with you? And I was talking to Joe last night and I says, dude, that's what I say to him. I'm like, dude, like, there's something wrong with me. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, are you sick? And I'm like, no, I'm not sick, but I feel sick. He goes, you're not making sense. I said, exactly, I'm not making sense. And he's like, oh boy. I guess women talk different than men, and they're like, he couldn't comprehend what I was trying to say. So I tried to explain to him that, everybody knows that I have sleeping problems. I don't sleep. My mind never shuts off. And that's part of panic and anxiety, which I've learned to live with that. But I was able to still go about my daily chores and to get them done and still have plenty of energy. But as of late, I found out that I'll sleep in the first part of the evening, and now I'm waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning instead of 3 o'clock. And then I will force myself to go back to sleep. And then again, I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Usually I can make myself go back to sleep again until 6. But now I'm finding that I can't go back to sleep. And for maybe about 2 or 3 weeks now, I've been waking up every morning between 1 and then 3, and I'm up. I'm up for the day. And that's not normal. It plays with your psyche really bad. And I couldn't figure out why. So I sat and I thought about it this morning. And I'm saying to myself, okay, you're having trouble doing just the normal daily routines in the house. You're tired all the time. You would rather just stay in a status of non-movement. And that's not good. That's not good at all. So, like I said, like I was saying, that's not normal. So I tried to reevaluate what I have been doing as of late. And it leads me all back to I've been hyper focused on what's going on with the world. And I'm the type of person that I want to figure everything out. Guess what? You can't. And that's where the problem lies in, is that it's affecting me mentally. Whereas if you're not mentally alert, you're physically struggling. And I don't know if any of yous are going through the same thing. I know the world is topsy-turvy right now. You can't even focus on one thing without something else happening, and then them throwing something else in. Oh, and then this one's doing this, and it's like a very, very bad, bad soap opera. So I found myself in the evening, if I do or I'm able to stay awake, I try to put on a funny movie or so on and so forth, just to erase my mind, get it distracted. But then as the evening is coming, my anxiety is coming back. Now, I know there is a thing that's called sunset syndrome, and older people do get it, although I'm only 62, so it's fairly early that I'm experiencing this. As the winter is approaching, of course it's going to be getting darker. Um, it's a natural occurrence. But with somebody who has anxiety and they're overtaxed as it is, it affects them more. And that's what I found that's happening to me. As the darkness begins to fall, my anxiety level goes up. And then your mind starts racing. And it's not a good thing, because you're setting yourself up for a night of unrestful sleep. So, how do you change it? Wow. I'm not a psychiatrist and I'm not a psychologist, but I was always able, when anxiety hit me at night, to, I call it changing the channel, where I would think about happy things, um, like the upcoming spring, and what am I going to plant, and am I going to hatch out new baby chickens this year? And I was always able to pull myself out of it and then go into a restful sleep. Of course, 3 o'clock in the morning, I was still awake, but I was able to make myself go back to sleep. I guess the thing that I'm getting at right now is I have to back away from politics. It's not that I'm not going to pay attention, but I'm not going to hyper focus on them. So I am going to greatly try not to do any more videos on the government happenings, because I don't know. It's like shoveling shit against the tide, excuse my language. But you have people that are so radical and so far left and so dangerous that, how could that not affect you mentally? So, what I think that I'm going to do, and I'm going to see if it works, and I will bring you along on this little journey that, once again, I find myself going down, is, we have the holidays coming up. And I said to myself, okay, they had put off Halloween until the 1st, which is okay, I guess. Why? Why? Because of our nor'easter that came in, which it really wasn't that bad. I mean, I would have sent Trist out with an umbrella and I would have, ran through the raindrops or something. I don't know. But that being said, and thank God Otis is taking Tristan out today, and her husband will be with them, which I feel a lot more comfortable. And in her town, they do have trick or treating today, which of course is the 31st. Um, but as we were talking yesterday, I found that my anxiety level was going up, and she said to me, "Ma, what is wrong with you?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. She goes, "Stop." Because I'm saying to her, like, okay, what if he, like, runs off on you? Or what if he, you know, doesn't listen to you? Or what if, he gets lost, and she's like, "Mom, listen to yourself. Stop with the what ifs." Now, she's took care of Tristan plenty of times. I mean, she's had him for days just to give me a break. And I was never like that before. So she says, "You got to stop. Just stop, and just enjoy the time that you have for yourself. Get things done around the house." And I thought, okay, that's real enjoyment. I'd like to crawl up and read a good book, but I got to get moving. So he's going to go with her today, which is a good thing. And we do have a busy next couple days. The first is my son's birthday. And then he has the trick or treating here, which is still mind boggling. I mean, so he's going to go trick or treating. And then we have to have a birthday party for my son. And we have to have a birthday party for Storm, which is now 4. And we didn't have a party for him. And we do every year. And Storm is the oldest dog. So we're going to combine the birthday parties together. So, and then on the second, Alyssa and I came up with the idea of having homeschool Halloween parade. Well, of course, it's after the fact, but with the way that this year is running, it is what it is. So we had to plan a whole big thing for the kids. There's like 10 plus kids coming. I'm the type of person who I have to have everything mapped out. Okay, they're going to be here at 2. So from 2 to 2:30, we're going to do this. From 2:30 to 3, we're going to do this. And she goes, "What is wrong with you, Mom?" I'm like, "Leave me alone. This is what I have to do." In my mind, I know I have to run on a schedule. And she goes, "Okay, well, I always just do whatever." And I thought to myself, damn, I wish I could be like that. And that's the way I am at home. Like, I was always a go getter. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And I'm falling back. I'm falling back, and I find it hard to do the most mundane things, which is playing with my mind even more than everything else. Um, so, and I went off on a rant. I'm sorry. So, what I thought the best solution for me to get me back on track, and it might help you if anybody's in the same boat that I am, if you have anxiety with the what ifs, or you have racing thoughts, or there's a lot that goes with panic and anxiety. But that being said, when I do start to go into almost like a panic mode, like I said, I will change the channel. I will bring myself to a happy place. With as far as mentally being exhausted, that's going to take a little bit longer to get out of, because when you are in this hypertensive, stressed situation, the biggest thing you want to do is to sit quiet and not move. And that's the worst thing you could do. And you actually have to force yourself sometimes to say, you know what? I'm getting up. I'm putting a little bit of makeup on my face. If you're a guy, I don't know. I'm combing my hair different. I don't know what guys do. Thank God. But, and make yourself move. And do the mundane things that you were able to do before. And you're going to find that you're very tired and that you want to quit and you just want to go back to your safe spot. Don't do it. Don't, because you're only reinforcing, how can I say this? You're only reinforcing the anxiety and the panic in you. And that's not a way you want to go. So, like I said, I had an epiphany about 4:30 this morning. I got up, I made myself a cup of coffee, I went back to the bedroom, and the first thing I did was I turned on the news, which I watch YouTube because I don't watch mainstream media. I have no faith in none of them. And then I found myself like really like focusing on a lot of crazy different stuff. And I went from channel to channel to channel. And then I realized, stop. What are you doing? Stop. And I shut the TV off. I continued to drink my coffee. I did my budget for the month. I played with the dogs for a little while, which always makes me feel better. I send a couple snaps to my son, which we do throughout the day. Like, we have like this trend going. I think it's called a tread or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but whatever. We do it every day. And I says, all right, let's now go get in a shower. Get in a shower and wake up and get your head together. So I find that as I'm doing these things, even though I'm exhausted and I don't want to do them. I mean, I shower every day, but you're just exhausted. You just don't have the energy to do it. I put a little bit of makeup on because, as you can tell, I'm sure you see in other videos the difference in my face. I have very deep bags under my eyes, and that's another sign of being overstressed. Your facial features change. You become tired looking. You become older looking. And for ladies, that's not good. We don't want to get there. No. So, let's see. Okay. I keep on getting scam calls and I don't know how to stop it when I'm videotaping. So, I'm trying to kind of like holding out on this. Which, okay, there we go. These people with the scam calls. I wish I could block them from my phone. So what I found helpful for me was, because I am so far backwards, I've allowed myself to become so far backwards that I sat down and I made a list of everything that has to be done in the house. And I broke it down into doable things. Like, for instance, today is clean my kitchen area, scrub the stove. God knows it needs it. Finish up the dishes. Get your canning jars ready. And then I says, okay, and then do the bathroom. That's it. That's all I'm doing for the day. Of course, I'll throw some laundry in, which is a no brainer. The machine does all the work itself. And then, you know, get him ready to go. And then later on in the afternoon, give yourself a little bit of a break. Give yourself a time to sit down and say, drink a cup of coffee, or if you can't drink whatever. No alcohol, though. I don't believe in it. And then maybe set a little bit of goals for the afternoon. He's not going to be here. I'll have more time to do stuff. Set a couple more low goals. Let's rearrange the pantry, which I know I have to do. All my preps have to be rotated. So I'm not focusing on everything at once. I'm giving myself little jobs to do and allowing myself to rest in between. Hopefully, I can get to the point where those little rests that I do will become less and less. And I tell you, for anybody who don't have anxiety, you are about the luckiest people in the world. For us who do have panic and anxiety, it's a struggle every day. It's like, I tell people who don't know exactly what panic and anxiety is, I try to explain them to them like this. It's like being in a prison with invisible bars. Nobody can see the bars, but you can, and it's holding you there. Or else I will tell them, they're like, well, what is a panic attack? And then I tell them, okay, did you ever sit and you were watching TV and it was like somebody came up to you and made a major threat to you, and you know that your life was in danger? What would your reaction be? And they'd like, oh my God, I'd be shaking. I'd be scared to death. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be thinking, I'm going to die. And I said, okay, there. Picture that when you're laying down watching a funny movie and out of nowhere, this feeling hits you. That's what panic is. And they said to me, oh my God, how could you deal with it? How could you not? It's something that was put on me, something that just happens. It runs in my family. And there's many different kinds of panic too. I mean, like, for instance, God rest his soul, my brother had severe panic attacks, but he was able to travel. So he would go on trips. Or, people have panic and anxiety and get vertigo. People like me who have panic attacks and anxiety, I have agoraphobia, where I'm afraid to travel out of my safe space, which is very scary because you can make your safe space from 4 towns over to not leaving your road or not leaving your house. And that's the scariest one there is, because you can actually become a shut-in. And I've been down that road. I've had panic and anxiety since 1984, when my daughter was born. And they say that it happens during a traumatic experience or hereditary. Honestly, I don't think they know where it comes from. It's just something that it happens. And it's very, very hard to control when you're going through it. And a lot of people don't see it. I'm the type of person that I could be in a full-blown panic attack and be laughing and joking, and inside I'm shaking like a leaf and I want to run. And I never tell them that I'm right in the middle of a panic attack, which is the worst thing you can do. If you say to people, look, you have to excuse me, I'm in a panic attack right now, I will work through it, but if I seem kind of off, it's because I have a panic attack. So, back to being motivated. I put a lot of pressure on myself. There's a lot of things that have to be done here. The weather's getting colder. I have rabbits to be processed, which are way overdue. I have the canning of my tomatoes, which are still in my freezer. I just processed a crap load of beans, which has to be processed. And this is where I finally said to myself, you got to do this. You got to do this. You can't let this not be done. You need this freezer space for your rabbits to be put in. You know, you need space that you can work on, you know. And believe me, my house is very, very tiny, which makes it even harder. So I guess basically what I'm saying to you is try not to focus on everything at once. It's only going to make you sick. It's only going to cause you anxiety. Try to breathe and relax. And if you're in the state that I am right now, which is pretty sedentary, force yourself to do little by little every day. So what if you set goals that you were going to do your kitchen and get everything cleaned up and then your bathroom and you got your kitchen done? At least you've done something. There's always the afternoon, or there's always the next day. Try to get yourself the stuff that you have to do outside before the weather really sets in. I can't stand cold weather, so I have to focus on outside. Thank God for me, it's been raining, so that kind of pressure is off me for right now. It's been non-stop raining here. I've never seen as much rain. I mean, it's ridiculous. But it's hard. It's so hard. And you have to be so strong. And I think that anybody who's going through this, you will be strong. You got to make yourself strong. Mentally, physically, you have to be strong. And I'll tell you why. Not only for your sanity and your body to become physically more fit, do it for your family. And if something crazy happens in this world, you're there. You're focused. You're proactive instead of reactive. And that's the most important. So, with that, I think I'm going to close this video. I'm going to get my butt up, and I am now going to start in my kitchen. Yeah, I think I'm going to take my stove apart and clean it. I might not get it back together with Thanksgiving coming, but hopefully I will. But I am going to bring you more videos on this. And when I do finally get my kitchen in order, and I will be showing you how that I process my tomatoes, and I'll bring you along. And oh wow, if you don't like my kitchen, what am I going to say? I don't own this house. I can't make it a Taj Mahal. I don't want a Taj Mahal. I just want a beautiful kitchen. But with that, I'll say have a good day. Please be safe out there. Don't let something get into here and manifest itself. It's the worst thing that you could do. And please be safe out there. Like I always say, it's a crazy, crazy world. And unfortunately, we don't know how much more crazier it's going to get. Be ready for it. Mentally and physically, be ready for it. With that, I will say I'll talk to you later until the next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.